The Pokémon Battle Tower is a battle facility where players compete against a set number of trainers to test their skills. This concept was introduced in Johto and later implemented in Hoenn, Sinnoh, and other in-game regions. However, there is another region not featured in the games that has one of these facilities, the Setonia region. Naturally, I want to take on this challenge to prove that I'm one of the best Pokemon trainers and possibly earn some enticing prizes they have in store. However, it won't be easy, as Setonia's Battle Tower includes 8 distinct gym trainers, a champion, and a surprise mystery opponent. To conquer the Battle Tower, I need to defeat all 8 gym leaders, collect their signatures on the badges in the provided pamphlet, unlock the chance to challenge the champion, and ultimately claim victory to complete the tower. With my $5 entry fee paid and pamphlet in hand, I enter the Battle Tower with a solid game plan to defeat them all. This is my attempt at an in real life Pokemon Battle Tower. I was first introduced to the head of the Battle Tower, Professor Catcher. He explained that to start my adventure, I needed to create an account on Pokemon Showdown, a Pokemon battle simulator, and set up my starting team according to these specific rules. The format will be the National Dex format, and the first Pokemon you will select is a starter Pokemon, Pikachu, or Eevee. After that, you can add 2 more Pokemon with a base stat total of 600 or less. You cannot use regional gimmicks except Mega Evolution. Every time you defeat 2 gym leaders, you can evolve your starter and add 1 more Pokemon to your team until you have a full team of 6. Then, feel free to choose any moves, items, abilities, and EV spreads to prepare your team for the battle. When you collect all 8 badges, come to me and I'll guide you to the champion. I already had a Pokemon Showdown account because, you know. So I went ahead and prepared a team full of my favorites. I chose Realist the Grookey as my starter because it was my first starter Pokemon in the games. While most early stage starters are dead weight until they evolve, Realist can support the team with healing from grassy terrain set by its Grassy Surge ability. It can then pivot out with U-turn, use Priority Grassy Glide to mitigate speed, and Drain Punch to get more healing. Swords Dance is Realist's last move, as it'll be more useful to sweep once it evolves. Next, I add a certified agent to the team, Agent Craw the Crawdont. Choice Banded knockoffs and Crabhammers are fun delete buttons, and Priority Aqua Jet mitigates Agent Craw's low speed. Close Combat is the strong coverage Agent Craw needs just in case if a Pokemon just so happens to resist every move that it has. I included my favorite Pokemon, which is legal in the format, Chandelay the Chandelure. Its tremendous special attack can be used on both stabs, with same type attack bonus, and moves like Fire Blast and Shadow Ball. Energy Ball is powered up on grassy terrain made by Realist and is nice coverage to have. I went with Calm Mind as my last move since I didn't want to be forced into being locked into one move like with Agent Craw's Choice Band. With my Fire, Water, Grass core complete, I was wished good luck in my journey by Professor Catcher, and it's off to fight my first battle. Looking at all the badges, I wanted to beat the Steel-type gym leader first, just so I wouldn't have trouble battling them down the road. Finding the gym was another story, as I kept running into dead ends. Up and down and all around, and oh my god, where do I go? After navigating through the tower and realizing I had taken the longest route possible, I finally arrived at the illustrious gym and was greeted by the Steel-type leader, Zacchaeus. This knightly fellow went on to explain the gym challenge that I wasn't prepared for. Before you can fight a gym leader, you must participate in their gym challenge, a mini trial that trainers must complete before you can battle them. Fortunately for me, I was delighted to hear that his gym challenge was to find the gym in the first place. What I was less delighted to hear was the team I'd have to face: Togedemaru, Galarian Meowth, and Pawniard. Despite the close calls, I successfully won my first match and earned the Swords Badge. Trainer number 2 piqued my curiosity as the gym was a straight shot down the hallway. You can tell based on the blasting music coming from the room that it was a pirate-themed gym. As I entered the dimly lit gym, the air was thick with a scent of seawater. Out strode the gym leader with fierce authority, Silene. She donned a fancy hat to accentuate her intimidating presence. Nevertheless, my gym challenge was simple. Find 5 gold doubloons scattered around the gym. One was in a crate, another was under a table, one was on a chair, another was under another table, and the last one was in the trash. You. After that, I was demanded to hide the doubloons, like, come on, let me get to battling with you. I didn't want to, but she insisted as it was a setup for the next challenger, and I had to comply. I stashed them in a chest, behind a stand, on a wall, on the floor, and next to the trash. Look, I liked the trash can spot, but I'm not like the last person who placed it inside of the trash. Then we fought. This matchup wasn't too bad, and I got the Crossbones badge. Before I left, my final request was to be wary of the Gambling Man, whatever that means. With 2 gyms down, my team needs improvements. First, Wheels can evolve into Thwacky so it can be more useful as an attacker. Next, we get a new member of the team, one that can hold the Choice Scarf as our team is lacking speed. Because I want to start another 3-type Pokemon core, and use a forgotten Dragon-type Pokemon who needs a Mega Evolution to stay relevant, I added Mega the Flygon. Earthquake and Stone Edge complement each other as Rock hits the flying types ground can't hit. For Dragon move, we use Dragon Claw instead of Outrage since I don't want to be trapped in using Outrage. Finally, U-turn for momentum. Before I can reach the next gym, I'm followed by a mysterious person. I don't catch a glimpse, mainly because I don't want to start any trouble. They catch up to me and casually ask, "You want to join my team?" "No thanks, I'm good." "You will regret this," and vanished into thin air. After that encounter, I made my way to the 3rd gym. The badge was one of my favorites, so I wanted to get it next. This is a grass-type gym, enveloped with a garden of flowers throughout the walls. I was warmly greeted by the creative connoisseur, Vinifera. The gym challenge was to draw any grass-type Pokemon, and he had to guess which one it was correctly. After drawing, Vinifera correctly identified it as Sarina. I've got to say, this was one of my best works. With the artistic challenge behind me, it was time to battle. The battle was quite anticlimactic, but ultimately, we secured the Sunrise badge. Positive and negative events tend to balance each other out over time. With the ease of the last 3 battles comes the challenge of the toughest fight I will encounter in the tower. I stand before the Gas-type gym, inhabited by imposing fire and poison-type Pokemon. Sitting behind a desk with a switch to the side, I see the mastermind behind this gym, Troy. His gym challenge is to catch a fire-type Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield within 7 minutes. Now, I don't know Paldea's locations well, but I know there's a wild zone in Galar. I headed there, and, after a bit of luck, I caught a Growlithe. But this battle, it kicked me down. Rotom Heat pivoted around, Toxapex walls my hits, and Torkoal sets up the sun so Venusaur can outspeed and KO my entire team. My planning had to be perfect. This is my 4th attempt at this fight. With determination, I lead Realist into Rotom Heat. didn't matter how long it would take. I won and received the chemical badge. With victory comes growth, and we can improve the team once again. Realist evolves into Rillaboom and switches out Drain Punch for Woodhammer to enhance his offensive potential. I also introduce Electrodrome the Magnezone to the squad. Its Steel typing and Assault Vest provide valuable bulk. Discharge and Flash Cannon are their stab options and gains another pivot with Volt Switch. Mirror Coat allows Electrodrome to exploit special attacks by reflecting back double the damage. In the midst of my preparations, I was approached once more by that enigmatic individual from before. "I told you, I don't want to join your team." They reply menacingly, "It wasn't a suggestion. I will make you join my team to further the goals of Team Rutgers. We will prove that we have better trainers in a stronger region than Setonia. I am their leader, Randolph Rutgers." He sent out Mawile and Sableye, initiating a battle. Before I can lead Realist to brush them away, Agent Claw takes the initiative to deliver a flurry of 2 consecutive choice banded crab hammers. Randolph Rutgers runs away, and I continued with my journey. I needed a fun experience after those last 2 disheartening battles. So what better way than to challenge the casino-themed gym and go gambling? I entered the gym and sat down at one of the tables. The dealer at this establishment is none other than Cardin Dice, the gym leader. He asked me if I've seen his gold chips he uses for betting, reminding me about the pirate gym's doubloons. Coincidence? Maybe. I told him I don't know what you're talking about, so Cardin Dice went on to explain his gym challenge. I had to win a hand of blackjack. I lost twice in a row, but the third hand I won with an 18 against Cardin Dice's bust. With blackjack wrapped up, it was time for our battle. Cardin Dice congratulated me on my victory and paid out my winnings, the jackpot badge. I couldn't decide which of the final 3 gyms to choose. As I passed by one next to the casino gym, the bubbly normal type gym leader appeared out of nowhere and exclaimed, "Come on in and challenge me!" I guess the decision was made for me. I entered the classroom gym and I think nothing of the feeling of impending doom. I learned that their name is Kay, an aspiring Setonia e-board member. My gym challenge is to complete a 5-question normal type quiz. Here were the questions. How many unique Pokemon are there? 1,025. How many atoms are in 5 water molecules? 15. What is the capital city of New York State? Albany, not New York City. What is the main ingredient of guacamole? Avocado. Is it ethical to eat Pokemon in the Pokemon universe? What? After completing the quiz, Kay responds, "Are you ready to battle me?" Let's do this. I got wiped out on my first attempt, but my second attempt was much better. That was a good match. Kay reached into their bag and gave me the attentive badge. Come for a visit again. Bye-bye. We need a fighting type as the final 2 gyms are weak to that type, but also a fairy type to complete the team's Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Only one Pokemon suits this role, Valerie the Iron Valiant. Moonblast is Valerie's best fairy move. Aura Sphere is a special fighting type move that is not Focus Blast, and close combat can be used for the special walls. Destiny Bond can be used to trade an opponent's threatening Pokemon as a last-ditch effort if my team cannot defeat them. We reach the Rock-type gym when, Rahaha! I'm back to make you transfer to Team Rutgers, and I won't go down as easily as last time. Looks like we're fighting Randolph Rutgers again. Randolph Rutgers was not happy. My GPA is going to be lowered if anyone finds out about this. I will be back. Before I can respond, he ran away. In the distance, I hear laughter from an individual that's rocking around. They are poking fun at Randolph Rutgers, astonished that his GPA could drop even lower than it already is. It takes me a bit, but I know it's the Rock-type gym leader, Sisonite. I nod in agreement since I didn't want to be on the receiving end of one of their quips. They invited me into their gym, which was carved out of a mountain with an arena inside. My gym challenge was to stack at least 3 rocks on top of each other to create a rock tower. It was easy enough, but I went on to be an overachiever and stack 8 rocks, the most they have seen all day. After seeing my performance, Sisonite does not hold back and sends out their strongest team. After braving the sandstorm, I managed to win and was rewarded with the mountain badge. Approaching the mountain was easy, but reaching the top was a struggle. After some time, I arrived at a research station where the blizzard stopped blowing. Here lies the 8th and final gym leader, the ice-type leader who looks cool as a cucumber. Borealis. He wrapped me up in warm blankets, offered me hot cocoa, and provided snacks. Once I felt nice and cozy, he explained the gym challenge. I had to win a game of Foodle, which is like the New York Times' Wordle, but with food. I started with pesto, which yielded me only 1 letter. Then I guessed cider, since that made sense at the time. I get C in the correct spot, but still need to place the E and the R. I look around, and Borealis is eating ice cream. Oh. I guessed cream, which was correct. It seemed obvious now that I think about it. Borealis scooped me up and launched me into the insulated ice-type facility. I am ready to win the battle. The battle was intense, but I emerged victorious and received the Snow Badge. After Borealis gave me the badge, I was prepared to challenge the champion. He provided me with a snowmobile to get back to Professor Catcher, and it was time to go. My team is back to where we started our journey. Realist, Agent Craw, and Chandelier are our starting trio, and Mega, Electrodrome, and Valerie are our recruited trio. Professor Catcher remained exactly where we had first met. I approached him to talk about my 8 badges and where to find the champion. But guess who appears? Not so fast, trainer. You think you can just waltz your way to the champion before rematching me, Randolph Ruckers? I've studied your every move, and this time, I will actually take you down. Professor Catcher leans toward me and steadily tells me to beat this guy for the sake of Setonia. Oh boy, I am more than ready to beat Randolph Ruckers. My entire team is prepared, and we are set to face him in our final rematch. Randolph Ruckers must be in shambles after losing to me 3 times. But this time, he refused to run away. I'm done fighting your team. If my Pokemon can't beat you... Randolph Ruckers ran towards me, and I braced for impact. Prepare for trouble! Blasting off again! Well, that was theatrical. After defeating Randolph Ruckers for the 3rd time, Professor Catcher tossed me an extra badge, the Crimson Badge. Finally, I get to challenge the champion. So, where might they be, you may be asking? I suppose there's no point in delaying any further. I am the champion of Setonia. The professor as the champion? Who could have seen that coming? Well, there's no turning back now. One final battle to conquer the Battle Tower. Champion Catcher's team consists of less than 600 base stat total non-legendary Pokemon, all with the 2nd highest of each stat. Chansey for HP, Haxorus for attack, Steelix for defense, Chandelure for special attack, Florges for special defense, and Electrode Hisui for speed. The fact that I was sent up to an unknown simulation location did not ease the tension, but given the number of places I've visited, this doesn't scare me. All 6 of my teammates are prepared in their own special way to take on this fight. Champion Catcher and I were sent back to the entrance, or in this case, the exit. Normally this is the point of a Phase 2 for a final boss battle, but nope. Catcher was gracious, offering a congratulations with that calm champion energy. I readied myself for him to sign my pamphlet and to take that as my enticing prize. Nope again. Instead, I'm handed a Pokemon card pack. Unexpected, but honestly, pretty exciting based on the current events. Here's what I pulled from the pack. I leave the Battle Tower and reminisce about the time my team has spent together. Thank you to Realist for being a reliable supporter of the team, Agent Claw for cleaning up the games, Chandelure for getting lucky and not missing a single Fire Blast, Mega for saving my run in the 4th gym and champion fights, Electrodrome for being a reliable tank, and Valerie for compressing 2 roles we needed to be patched up. This was a great run, and I look forward to next year's Battle Tower. Palafin should have been allowed!